Check, check, check. 1, 2.
1, 2. Oh, you're not there? One, two, three. Well, I got a lot of sun the last episode. I thought it would look good if I did it with the mountains in the background.
Yeah.
But then and it was only supposed to be like a 45-minute episode. But it was such an exhilarating conversation. It ended up being 2 hours.
Yeah, dude, you gotta get a little sun sometimes.
So
man.
I baked like a lobster, and now I might get a melanoma.
Yeah, melanoma.
Yeah. I might turn into a damn black guy if I get cancer.
Oh my god, that's the dream, man.
Okay.
Dude, that's got to be like the most electrifying part of any dermatologist day. It's just be like, I need you to sit down for this, but you're now black.
Oh man, God, my prayers would be answered. Well,
nice golden brown though, brother.
oh, yeah. Well, that was the thing is I'm an Irishman.
Yeah.
But I assumed this is the first year that I was. Mathew knows. Every time we were out, I was very diligent with sunscreen.
Mm-hmm.
He would be like, "What are you putting on sunscreen for, pal? You're a young man." But I'm like, I gotta really lather up because I want to take care of my skin.
Yeah.
A lot of my great uncles and stuff have had skin cancer.
Yeah.
And so I don't want that. So all summer I've gotten like a nice build.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't go sunscreen all the Phoenix sun. I was in Phoenix for 2 weeks. No sunscreen.
Playing with fire, brother.
I know, but I didn't burn there. And then in Tennessee, I did a podcast, and they say podcasting ain't work. But but I did that, and I burnt to a crisp, and it really hurt. But it turned from red to tan.
Yeah.
And I'm very shocked about that because I didn't think my skin could possess that. I thought that was like
Dude, I mean, just by your name, I could tell you're Irish, but by the skin color, that's like a delicious Italian.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel creamy. I feel, oh, God. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, the podcast. This is, thank you guys for watching the podcast. This is, I Don't Want to Be a Piece of Shit. I'm your host, Carter Doherty, and today I have my guest, very funny comedian, good friend, Mike Rainey.
Thank you for having me, dude.
Oh, thank you.
Excited to be here, man.
Oh, thanks for joining.
Dude, you spoiled me, man. When you gave me the address, I was like, all right, cool. I didn't know how long it would take me, even though the GPS said a certain amount. I like to plan a little bit early, and I got to the neighborhood early. I found a nice supermarket, and one of the things I love about Austin is you can go in a supermarket and buy tacos.
Dude, it's ridiculous. I went into a gas station and got delicious tacos
Dude,
the other day.
I mean, for a fat pig like me, like I don't think I'm ever going to lose my tits living here.
No, it's ridiculous. And the thing is that it's still cheap to eat out here.
Everything was $10.
Other than when you sit down at a place downtown, that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm that fancy yet.
So you're new to Austin, 3 weeks in,
Yeah.
and you're absolutely freaking loving it.
Dude, it's been heaven. I came from Philly, which is a cesspool which should be wiped off the face of the earth.
Yeah, and that's like disgusting. There's some grody parts here, but it's nice. A lot of it's changed from probably a lot of different demographics out here, and. Well, see, I feel like people are big on like Wawa out there, and they love like but like I feel like people don't really flex on it here in Austin. But they got food in the gas station that's much better than a Wawa.
Dude, it's nuts. I really every place that I've gone to get food so far has been a home run, and Wawa. I mean, I went there almost every day because my wife wasn't cooking much at home. She's changed her tune though. She's been cooking a lot since she's been here.
Well, now you got the big.
Really nice.
Now you got a house with a friggin' big kitchen.
Yeah, and I really give her no excuses. But like back home in Philly, like we would get Wawa almost every day, and it was overrated. Wawa is drastically overrated, and it's
Getting a hoagie at the gas station.
yeah, dude. Yep. And I was spoiled with hoagies, and that's one thing that I have missed. I found a pretty good sandwich shop pretty close to me, but it's still not the hoagies from home.
Yeah, I had a good Italian sub down here. That was
Yeah, that's what I had. Yeah.
Oh yeah, where would you go?
Tucci's.
Tucci's?
Yeah.
I think that's where I had was Tucci's.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty delish.
Yeah.
They do a good Italian sub down here. And then the other thing that threw me for a loop is I parked at a place and it was just like had a big Italian beef on the outside. And I was like, I kind of was really stoned, and so I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, oh, that's normal to just have an Italian beef on the outside of a building.
Was it a bathhouse?
But no, it was not. It was just a Italian beef place.
Okay.
Have you had any Italian beef man or sandwich.
Almost accidentally had real man Italian beef. A guy like brought me on a date one time to the Belmont Steaks, and I didn't know it was a date. I worked at Papa John's, and he was a delivery driver. He's like, "Hey man, I'm going up to the Belmont Steaks tomorrow. Any chance you want to go?" I was like, "Oh, I got to work," and my boss overheard it. The best boss I ever had, this guy Joe, turned out to be a pedophile too, but very good boss at Papa John's. Knew how to run a Papa John's
Best
like
boss
the back
I
of his
ever
hand.
had.
Yeah. But this guy took me to the Belmont Steaks in Elmont, New York, and it became clear as the ride progressed that like this was a date and not just like two bros hanging out. And I feel like I disappointed him by not putting on a show and like really giving him what he wanted because the ride home was just total silence.
Well, yeah. How far was the drive?
It was far. It's from Philly
Yeah.
to Long Island, so I think maybe like 4 to 5 hours.
That's a long.
Yeah,
That,
yeah, for miscommunication.
that's
yeah,
a gig.
yeah.
Yeah. What was the conversation on the ride out that led to you think it was a date?
Just talking about my body. I didn't have a girlfriend at the time, which might have thrown him off. But like, it quickly turned from a point where like, oh, this isn't about horses anymore.
He liked how like thick your top was.
I wasn't thick. I wasn't thick topped back then. Carter.
You weren't thick top?
No, I was a little skinny boy in 1997, I think.
1997.
Yeah.
So what? You were a delivery driver at Papa John's with him.
Dude, I was just making pies, man. When I went in and applied for the job, at the time I was very anxious about interacting with strangers.
Oh, so this is like the big dog coming down to the little pup at the
Yeah, he was
the line cook.
Yeah, he was big dogging me, man. But I went in, and when I applied for the job, I was very anxious around people. So I told the guy who ended up being my boss, I was like, "Look, I really want the job, but I just want to make pizza. I don't want to interact with any customers. I don't want to answer the phones. I don't want to work at the register." He's like, "Yeah, that's fine." And he let me do that, and it was always overstaffed. So people were just always hanging out, having a good time. It really was a nice place to work. And there was a lot of flirtatiousness, and
Mostly homo.
no, like he was the minority, man. And it really caught me by surprise because initially it sets up as just like bro talk.
Mm-hmm.
And then it progresses to a point where like you're just recognizing like, oh man, this guy just wants something more than I'm willing to give.
Well, that's the thing that I always was kind of confused about back in the 90s or like pre-internet, because now internet gay guys can really just go at it. But how the subtlety of trying to like be like, who am I getting a call from?
My boss at Papa John's.
That guy don't matter. It actually probably was Sam Milazzo.
Yeah, that was him.
He is a pedophile.
Yes. Yeah.
Sam Milazzo is a pedophile.
We used to call him Sam Molesto.
Oh man, yeah, God. I heard he molested actually boys and girls.
Yeah, real jack of all trades.
God. Wouldn't that be awful if a pedophile was into boys and girls?
Yeah, just like the Bo Jackson of child molestation.
God, you just at least have a type. Oh yeah. Oh, the gay guys in the '90s.
Yeah,
letting off subtleties to like try to figure out if another guy's gay is probably. It does take a 4-hour car ride, and I'm.
Yeah, dude. It was like a much bigger deal back then to be like secretive about it.
Well, because you had to even like pierce an ear. That was a big.
Yeah,
thing.
if you had the right ear pierced, that meant you were gay.
I think my dad used to be gay.
Nice.
Because growing up, I found that out that you had to have your right ear pierced, and then I remember I was sitting in the passenger seat of the car, and I just was like looking at my dad, and I was like, I could see that there was a healed up ear piercing in his right ear. And I went, Dad, did you have your ears pierced? And he went, nah, just the right one actually.
Oh, dude.
I went, oh, faggot.
Dad's got to have fun, though, man.
Yeah, dads do got to have fun. Some would say too much fun.
Yeah, you got to unwind, and sometime that involves stepping out on your family. Oh, dude, there was a guy in the Philly comedy scene who was not a great guy, so that's why I kind of delight in this, but his dad was killed by a gay prostitute. And when he told his family that he was going to the Eagles game, and what he was actually doing was going to a hotel in Center City, Philadelphia, to have gay prostitutes come in throughout the day. And he was choked to death by one of them. And I cannot think of a worse death, but if you're not a great person, that's a very cool way for all of your haters to be aware of your dad dying.
Oh, yeah. I guess it is. God, but he got fucked to death.
Yeah. But do you think that's like fun, like for a guy in that position, like as like you feel the light leaving your eyes, you're like either this is awesome or like, oh my God.
You know what? I honestly don't even feel that bad for the dad because he probably was like he probably hated his life. He didn't want to be the family man he wanted. So he wanted to get fucked and choked out all day. Yeah. And so his last moments of life are just are just gay prostitutes coming through all day, blowing his asshole up and filling him up. And then his last moments of life before he reaches the white light is just a man smashing his asshole while his windpipe's being crushed. Dude. And then he finally meets God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I feel happy for his dad, and I'm happy that guy got his comeuppance with being an asshole.
Yeah, man. It's as a dad, it's. Oh, I mean, as a family, it's got to be tough. Like having to identify your dad in a cum-soaked Donovan McNabb jersey.
God, yeah, that's one thing. That's why you gotta. I don't know. That's kind of what is a bummer now about the internet and people wanting to be so public is that every man's been covered in cum before. Let's be honest, boys. Yeah. But now it's known to forever, and you kind of just talk about it, and it's like it's a tweet, it's an Instagram post, it's something. But later in life, now your kids are gonna know those things about you. Whereas before, it used to just be a secret you died with.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so R.I.P. I'm not gonna say his name, but
all good. But you're a family man. Transition.
Yeah, big Eagles fan too, if you know what I mean.
Big Eagles fan. Oh, yeah. So have you ever had a gay prostitute?
No, just that gay date. I think I had a gay boss that was harassing me one time.
Oh yeah,
he was tough.
How old was that?
That by him or by the
how
situation?
Old were you? I should talk like a human. How old were you when that
happened? This was probably 2009-ish. Yeah, so about 15, 16 years ago.
Okay, so not.
And I'm 46, so that would be like I was like 30.
Yeah, so that's like a real situation.
Yeah,
it was. You can deal with it,
dude. It really bummed me out, and like I kind of walked into this one because like I went to go watch him sing in the Philadelphia Gay Men's Choir.
Okay.
Which I think might have been leading him on.
Uh-huh.
And I did bring my wife, though, so I feel like that was just a nice gesture on my part.
Well, no, that was you going.
Fuck, man.
Bringing your wife to the gay men's choir was going, no, I'm cool with this.
Yes. Dude, and tickets were expensive, too, and I didn't have that kind of money. Like, tickets were like...
Were they going to fuck each other up there?
It wasn't. They had beautiful voices, dude, but it was like over $40 a ticket, and I was making $12 an hour.
Ooh.
So that was.
And you bought two.
Yeah.
He couldn't even swing you a comp?
Dude, I don't know. I don't like to ask for things, so like.
That's the other thing is if he's harassing you and he doesn't even get you to go for free, that's ridiculous.
I know. Well, I blame myself for that. But in hindsight, it's. I imagine everybody there probably should have been comped because it just should be filled with like hot twinks, you know?
And it wasn't. It was mostly just their families. I thought usually they don't have good relationships with them.
It's like cardboard cutout families, like during it's like COVID baseball.
It's just like everybody's tombstones of their friends that died of AIDS. So you brought your wife there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I guess we've been going for a while. The point of the podcast that I do a lot of times is I bring my friends on.
Yeah.
That they're good. You're one of the nicest dudes I know in comedy.
Thank you,
every time we've met and interacted, you've just been one of the dudes that's like making sure everybody in the crew is having a good time. You're all you love your family a lot. You talk about how much you love them. Yeah. And you seem to care a lot. You're a good guy.
Thank you, dude.
But also you've been a piece of shit in your life.
Yeah.
And that you're very, I don't know, you have a book about it. You got you're very public. That's kind of your persona. And it's, I'm a bit of a piece of shit. I do piece of shittery things. But what I'm curious about is how did you also were married and had a family while being on perks and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I was doing what I wanted. So, I mean, being a dad especially, like I know so many guys that just take to it immediately. Like that didn't happen for me. I took care of the kids. Like I changed diapers, I made bottles, spent time with them. But at the same time, like when the nighttime hit, I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
See, this is what I'm more familiar with like in my life of people that I know of like not just like because I get kind of confused with homeless people. I don't know too many people that have like gotten into drugs and then become homeless. People I know that are like drug addicts are like my like grandma, you know, like the, like the lady that babysat me, you know, like my
I guess I fit in that category.
That like would nod off while I was watching TV. Like that's what I think of. Not, so that's why I'm always curious. How do you? So what did your depths go into? So how'd you start off?
Initially, it was just booze, and that was like in high school. Like I was always very anxious. Like now, like looking back, it's like I nobody would have ever thought that there was like something wrong with me, but like I have like pretty significant anxiety disorder. Like when I was like in my teens, like I would be like terrified to leave the house just out of like this completely irrational fear that something devastating was going to happen, and it wasn't rooted in any reality. So it took like alcohol for me to like feel comfortable in any kind of situation. And once I started drinking, friends materialized, and I was like, oh, cool. If I drink and I'm funny, people like me. And like that was just like the worst possible thing that could have happened because it was just, you know, I just wanted to do more of that. I wanted the friends. I like drinking too.
Yeah, was this like so high school time?
Yeah, like I think I started drinking when I was 16.
And then were you like drink all the time or blackout guy?
I only blacked out a few times, man. Like I drank just about every day after high school. Like during high school, it's just weekends mostly.
See, that's a bummer to not black out because then you gotta live with your decisions more,
dude. And there were one of the few times that comes to mind in regards to blacking out was like I got this stuff called barley wine. It was from this brew house called John Harvard's, and they serve it to you in a smaller glass because the alcohol percentage was so high.
Oh, it's like a port wine type thing.
It's intense, man. And I was friendly with the bartender because I would go there every Wednesday after my community college classes, and he filled up this thing called a growler.
Oh yeah,
with it, and it was an insane amount of alcohol for that, and I ended up drinking it. And that night, I ended up taking a shit in my kitchen trash can.
Was it like a good guy or was it a sloppy mess in the trash can?
It was just like pudding, like.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So was it but you blacked out, so you don't remember the emergency happening?
I remember. I have a vision of myself doing it, but like not like it wasn't just like, yeah, this is going to be funny or this is where I should do this, but like, you know, when you wake up from drinking so much, it's like you're punched in the chest.
Oh yeah,
with what you did the night before.
See, the thing is sometimes I'll get like I'll have memory jump where like I'll wake up and think it's the day before. Like I won't even remember that I did the day before. So I'll be like, oh fuck, we got to go to that concert today.
Yeah.
Like so that's what I get. And then I have somebody go, dude, and I go, and then I go, oh, something bad must have happened. But I have no recollection. I get really just wiped.
Yeah, I didn't have like a history of that. Like this was like it would be like bits and pieces of kind of like Born Identity type-ish, where it's just like, okay, I kind of remember that, and then it's just like you know, people can fill in pieces for you.
I get that sometimes, especially if cocaine's involved.
Yeah, baby.
But the big man, the one I remember is a similar thing is where I would do 16 Loco, where I would do four Locos when I was in high school.
No.
That was my big move, and so I did that before a concert at this venue, and I was just kind of acting a fool the whole time. And I remember my buddy had to take me home before the concert even started, and I had pissed myself in the back of his car. And then I walk in, and my stepdad's building a brand new theater room in the basement. And he has this projector screen that he has to stretch out for 3 days after he applied it with chemicals to be the right tension.
Yeah.
And I just go downstairs, and my mom's like, "Just calm down." And I just pull down my pants. I start pissing all over this projector screen.
It makes sense to me, dude.
Yeah, because I thought that's where you go to the bathroom.
Yep.
And then my stepdad came down. He was screaming at me. He was like, "What are you doing?" And I was just like, "The bathroom." And somehow they fixed it. It didn't screw up the projector screen. I was really shocked by that, and I didn't get in that much trouble. But I was hungover for the whole next day. I didn't move for a whole day straight after that, and that's not even that interesting of a story. All I did was just get hammered and then piss on something.
No, but I mean that's good. Like when you start pissing in places that are not the toilet, I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I had a history of that too. I ruined a sectional we had just with piss.
Are you a big piss when you get drunk guy?
Yeah, I became one.
No, I was a bedwetter growing up, so just the muscles loose, I think, in the first place.
Yeah, loose muscle. That's what it is.
Yeah, just so every time I would
Yeah.
get past the point, even the bigger like bummer was when I would get like 6 beers deep and still piss the bed, and
That's tough. Yeah.
then I'm just like can't do that.
I don't know if I pissed the bed, but it's like I would definitely piss on. I ruined a sectional, and I think I would sleepwalk too. That became an issue, and aside from that, I don't know what else. Any other problematic behavior related to drinking that I wasn't conscious of.
But you liked getting loose and not having the anxiety. You liked having the feeling relinquish. And so, when at what age did you get married?
Dude, I've never been married. We've
Oh
just
yeah,
been
you
together
guys have
forever.
been together for forever.
We've been together since like 2000. It was like November of 2000,
So
and we just never got married. It was just we've gotten engaged twice, but just marriage was. It was just like, meh. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. My wife's very cool.
That's cool. And
Yeah.
you could just say wife. It doesn't
Yeah,
mean-
I do just because. I mean, I guess now like we're common law married because we've lived together forever. But
And then I guess you don't have any parental pressure.
no, my parents are dead, man.
I'm
So
sorry
like,
to hear.
no, dude, it's fine. Yeah, it's pretty good. I didn't like them very much.
Ah. Well, I'm sorry. To
No, that's
hear.
cool. Like my dad was cool, and like I just had a weird relationship with my mom, and yeah, dude, they both died in February, and it was a week apart from one another.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping my dad would get a chance to like wild out and just like go to Thailand or something and just get chlamydia or.
Was he a sex pig?
Yeah, he was, dude. When I was younger, like, did you ever go rooting through your parents' drawers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever find anything good?
Oh, my dad's. I found. Well, he had a lot of Playboys. I found all his testosterone. My dad was big into roids.
Whoa, nice.
My brother got a needle stuck in him one time.
What, playing with it?
Yeah, we were playing around with it. He got
Yeah.
I was like, I'll get you. What'd you find?
Oh, in my dad's drawers, I found cummed on porn magazines,
Ooh.
which was it always struck me as nuts. Like it's like I get it, man, but why are you going to ruin your own shit with cum?
I agree, but I guess there's you just kind of next page.
But eventually, more and more pages are going to get stuck together, dude. And when
And then you
all
get
is
a
said
new
and done,
magazine.
now you got to buy a new magazine. Yeah,
That's why you get a subscription. Once it's all stuck together, the book's over.
Yeah.
And that's why it has 30 pages.
yeah, dude. That's the biggest trick of big porn. But yeah, my dad was mostly magazines.
Okay.
And my mom was like, I knew I shouldn't have gone in there, but I opened my mom's bottom drawer one day, and it was like a fucking Liam Neeson Taken level arsenal of dildos.
Oh, man. Like, how many we talking?
Dude, it was like, all right, so if the drawers were maybe like 18 inches wide, like it filled that. So it was straight across.
What do you need multiple for?
Different sizes, man.
Difference.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know. I guess like when you realize like somebody likes something, like for a while my mom was convinced that I liked ducks for some reason, and she would just get me like random duck things.
Oh, yeah.
And you would just say thank you.
Girls just like to have a lot.
Yeah, and it's like they just collect things for the sake of just collecting things.
Yeah.
Like the functionality doesn't have to be there, but yeah, ladies are kind of OCD about dildos.
Dude, one time I was looking for my Boy Scout knife in middle school, and my mom was like, she had grounded me from it, so she hid it in her room, and but I was leaving for camp that weekend, and I was with my babysitter.
You need it.
And she was like, it's somewhere under my bed. And so I was looking underneath there, and I pull out this Amazon box, and I open it up, and there's just 2 dildos sitting in there.
Yeah.
And like I don't think I'm 8th grade. I'm like 6th grade at this point. So I pick it up, and I don't really understand what it is at first.
Yeah.
And I kind of put it together, but my babysitter's in the room too.
Yeah.
And she's like a high school chick.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, and then she just starts cracking up. And I got 2 siblings that are 5th, like, or even younger than that, like 3rd and 4th grade.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, what is that? And then my babysitter's like, oh, that's your mom's back massager.
Yeah.
And so like that got it over, but my mom was embarrassed about it. And so when a week later though, I'm coming up and I get home from school and I walk up, like we have a split level house and the living room right here, and I walk up the steps and I just see and hear buzzing from over there, and I just see my sister putting my mom's dildo on my brother's back. To massage him with it.
Was he enjoying it?
I think he was. He was getting his back blown out.
Yeah, it's ladies have really ruined back massagers.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You ever put it on your taint?
No.
Okay, we'll move on.
But I mean I've had not a fleshlight, but do you know what an auto blow is?
I know what it is.
Yeah, I've had one of those, and it's so intense that like I eventually got rid of it. I felt like it was bringing like bad juju into the house. Like it definitely was causing problems with my wife. Like there was there was some
no
friction.
shit.
But it's like but from my perspective it's like my wife has a vibrator. It's like I don't care. Like if you like it, enjoy it. It's not like I don't feel replaced by it. It's something that all right, it makes you feel good, go for it. With the auto blow, there was definite tension. Like she did not like it being in the house. It was like a cursed Ouija board or something.
Yeah, I don't mean to be traditional, and maybe I should go with my friend on this.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't it feel intense to you? The like a machine, a thing that just like you're
It's
like,
a lot.
Whoa.
It's a lot, and it's
Like, don't you come already in 30 seconds jerking off?
I do, and it's like it's definitely not necessary. Like it's really something for I think it's a single man's luxury. Whereas like I still get pussy like whenever I want it, and jerking off still hasn't. Yeah, pardon me. It's like I don't mean to brag, but
Pussy whenever you want
Yeah.
it. Jesus Christ, I could smell it.
and dude, like I still jack off like I'm fucking 12.
Really?
Yeah, I still go nuts. So it's like I really don't need that level of horsepower, but it was just kind of nice to like wade in those kind of waters and just be like, all right, that was fun. One thing I didn't like because it was definitely too intense was a buddy snuck VR goggles over my head one time, and as he put
Snuck 'em?
dude, Carter, I was sitting on a floor doing something on his laptop. We were in his basement, and this was like 5 years ago.
I thought you were going to say while you were using the auto blow.
Yeah, it really makes the workday fly by, dude. But I was sitting Indian style on his basement floor, like doing something on his laptop, and my buddy Tim goes, "Get a load of this," and he puts the VR goggles over my eyes, and it was so overwhelming. I imagine it's like getting to heaven and like seeing all your dead pets running towards you.
Yeah.
It was just way too much, and it was awesome, but it's not something that I really wanted to delve into because
What was the scene?
it was just a lady acting like she was blowing you.
That was too much?
Dude, it was way too much because it was like, she's right there.
I want VR porn, but as the lady in a gangbang.
Yeah, that's really like, that's got to be nice, especially like if you're super
It's like
lonely.
you try to turn your head away, but some good black guy grabs you and pulls you back to his
You
car.
got a Timberland on your head.
It jabs you in the eye.
Yeah, so I guess that thing
But
has its place. It was too much for me,
It was
though.
too much, too immersive in the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes sense. I just think, especially if I have an issue of when when I jack off, my thoughts escalate, and especially if I have like a day to myself, I'm a real like I do with any substance too. Is I'm a real binger, so I'll just I'm like, ooh, I started jacking off. Let's jack off 8 times today, and then by the 8th time I'm watching gangbang porn on 2 screens, and I'm like, I'm full goon mode. And so that's my issue of why I just go to I'm just not gonna jack off, and I'll only have sex when I actually have sex.
Yeah. That's something I'm toying with right now because I feel like I do get a little bingy with things, and I feel like especially with porn I got to dial it back because like I have an addictive personality, and I feel like I've been good with getting rid of drugs and alcohol, but it's like the addictive nature just doesn't subside because you gotten rid of those couple things. It's like I'm definitely with food I can become addictive, and porn. Those are like the 2 things that really hit me hard that I got to be like, all right, I need to fucking pull back a little bit here because this is just too much.
Well, those are the hardest ones because like anything else, they're just outside substances. But food and coming, those are two things your body has to do.
And they're
so you have to moderate.
Yeah.
Them. Everything else you can just go, I'm not going to do that anymore. These are things that you're like, well, I got to do them, so I just got to make sure I don't do them too much.
100%, dude. And I haven't jacked off a lot since I've been here over 3 weeks, and I would say I jacked off maybe 4 times.
Oh, those are great.
Pretty good.
I jacked off for the first time being here today, and it was a real
Mess.
What's a turning point? A real, I don't know, rock bottom. Rock bottom's good.
Yeah.
But I jacked off in the bathroom with the lady that I'm staying with, and I came into the sink. And then I just made eye contact with myself, but I was like, "Man, you had sex last night. Did you need this?"
No, I get it, dude. You got to clear the pipes.
You got to clear the pipes, I guess. But to make eye contact with yourself is really.
I would have never even thought of that, man.
I really didn't I didn't like seeing myself do that.
Yeah, I get self-conscious too. Like even just hearing myself, I think if men make noise in porn, it should be a federal offense.
Man, I think because I was drunk in the past a lot when I would have sex or other stuff, is I used to think I was like good at being a presence, like being like, "Whoa," or like saying stuff.
What was that sound again? Whoa!
You like that? And so I was good at I never second get thought talking, but now I think maybe because I'm smoking a lot of weed, but I really second guess talking during sex. But women really they let it fly.
Yeah.
They don't second guess anything they say. They say "fuck me, daddy," and I'm like, what? I can't say that. Do you say shit?
I do, but I try to limit myself because I could talk the whole time. That's it. Words naturally fly out of me when I'm getting my dick sucked, having sex, whatever. But I feel like when my wife does it, it's more. It just sounds better because everything makes sense. Because sometimes when you're getting your dick sucked or you're fucking, it's you're just babbling. You're just all right, this isn't a complete sentence. That was too much. I probably shouldn't be saying these things right now. These aren't really adding to anything. But I feel like when ladies do it, they're pretty good at everything that they're saying.
Yeah, I think women are just better at because dudes just have different goals. I think when they speak normally, women can make another person feel good pretty easily. Dudes have a tough time, I think, doing that as often. It comes out clunkier.
Well, dude, relative to that, I feel like that's what I say most. I'm very complimentary.
That's a good thing. I'm trying to be more complimentary. I think I do a decent job. What?
Most of the time, I'm pretty insulting.
Well, sometimes I'm an asshole. I've realized sometimes I say really mean things.
During sex?
Not during sex, in general.
That makes more sense.
Not during sex, but with sex, the thing is that this is what I do in normal life, but I just memorize sayings. And then I just reuse them in the right scenarios. But I only have 4 for sex. And so once you've had sex enough times, they're like, oh, you can't keep saying you like that slut.
Obi, hey.
You like that? And
I like you,
but yeah, they really want you to degrade them. And I'm like, I can only call you a whore, a slut.
Yeah.
Bitch doesn't even feel good. That doesn't feel right. Bitch feels like I'm mad at you.
Dude, it's tough because, to that point, I feel like if I watch a movie and guys are being degrading, I don't like that. It just feels like too much.
Plus, also, I'm not having sex with my wife. So what I like to say normally is, "I love you." That I can talk. I can talk a lot during sex. I can be like, "Oh my god, you feel amazing. You're the best woman I've ever met in my entire life. I'm gonna stay with you forever. We're gonna have 4 kids." And then I come immediately after saying all that. I miss her.
But I don't know. I would like to find out. I'm sure Reddit's got the answers, man. But what exactly the ladies like to hear during sex?
But yeah, I feel like getting fucked up really helped, but that probably takes away the anxiety, makes you feel good.
Yeah.
When was the last time you got fucked up on anything?
I've had mushrooms. I had a pretty intense mushroom trip a couple years ago by accident because I did like 6 years of like strict sobriety. I think it was 6. And then I was like, all right, I feel terrible. And somebody suggested like trying mushrooms. And I was like, all right, I'll microdose. And like I was microdosing for like 2 weeks. And then I would usually just take pieces of chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't have any more chocolate. And somebody had given me like an eighth of mushrooms when I first said I wanted to try it. And I just had them in the shoebox. And I was like, all right, well, I'll eyeball this. And this is probably about like a microdose. And it was like, I think it was like a golden teacher. And it was just like way too much than I was prepared to take. And I took it. And then I got in the shower. And as I pulled like the shower curtain to the side, like, just everything was swirling, and I was like, "Oh no, I've taken way too much." And it's been so long since I've had this feeling, and I really started to freak out. But that ended up being a nice experience. But like fucked up on like really problematic drugs, like April 2017.
Okay.
That was bad. It was just like one of these nights where like just cocaine's just raining from the sky, and you're just like, "Fuck it, I'm just going until I cannot go anymore."
Now, how'd you have money for cocaine back then?
Dude, it was well, I always worked like 2 jobs from like I don't know, from like probably like from like 2012 on. I always had multiple jobs. I worked I just like to work, and I never like had money to the point where like, all right, there's a savings account or anything like that, but it was just like, all right, there's always money coming in, and it's always like I know if I blow it on a Friday night, you know, I got more coming in a couple days. So with this, it was like I wasn't drinking for a while, and then on my wife's birthday in 2017, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to have a few drinks, and she's like, do what you want, man.
On her birthday.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I really gave her the
way to
nicest
celebrate.
gift. Yeah. And I think that was a Friday, and by Sunday, I was just off to the races. I'd gone out with some friends, and I called my kids from the bar and told them I was like coming home with pizza, and I never made it home. And it was just... A guy was able to get us some Coke, and then he's just like, he's like, I live right around the corner if you need more. And I was like, yes, I will need more. So I think I called him like 3 times that night, and then I ran into an old neighbor who also sold Coke, and he gave me an 8-ball. And it was just insane. And I was supposed to do like a radio spot that morning. And my buddies and I, like, we had like a show in development at Comedy Central at the time, and like we were filming the pilot soon. So this was like to promote like the web series that we had done, and this was like to kind of really drum up publicity for the show. And me, Tim Butterly, Tommy Pope, and John McKeever were supposed to go to this radio studio to do like an in-studio interview. And I was just doing coke all night, and I was out of my fucking mind. And I actually drove to the studio, and I was sitting in the parking lot of this radio station, 93.3 WMMR Rocks. And I'm sitting in the parking lot at like 7 in the morning. And I'm debating whether or not to go into the main desk to like get my fucking name tag or whatever. And as I'm sitting there trying to measure like what I want to do, like I've been doing coke all night, so naturally like I'm fired up, and I'm watching XNXX on my phone as I'm debating whether or not I want to go in and embarrass myself. And thankfully, I didn't go in there. I just I pulled out of there, and I ended up getting a motel room close to my neighborhood, and it was just one of these disgusting places that people either go to do drugs or to get hookers. And I got in there, I got a room by myself, and I did some of the coke that I had, and I just had like this really like this impending sense of doom that I'd never had with drugs before. And I just felt like this is a place where I could die.
Yeah.
And I dumped my drugs down the drain. That's the only time I've ever done that. And at that point, like I knew like I was like truly done.
So before that, were you a person that every time you would binge, and then at the end you would go, I gotta fucking turn my life around. I'm not doing
always,
this,
dude.
So like you had like 20 of those every time.
Yep.
Like because I can completely relate to that part. But so blowing the deal on that radio spot, how were you like doing that all the time when you were working with them? On
No,
stuff
like
too?
that was like that was like our first like full like public thing together, and it was like the combination of just being like cocaine, like just to come down would just decimate me, and then feeling as though like this one chance that I finally had after being older and just like finally having a shot to do something creative and cool, I might have blown it. And it's just the devastation from that set in. And they were as cool as can be about it. Like when I texted them, I was like, look, this is what happened. John McKeever was just like, look, if you need money, if you need help, like getting help, let me know and I'll help you.
That rules to have
Yeah,
that
he's the
as
man.
friends
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
And then also the other, but like, because obviously you have to be so redeeming the other way, where if you're letting people down in that sense, that's not what you're probably doing most of the time.
No, like most of the time I am reliable.
Yeah.
Like now it's like if I tell you I'm going to be somewhere, like I'm 99% certain, like I'll be there, or I'll at least communicate that I can't be there. Like I won't just go, fucking dark.
And then like how often were you probably binging on shit?
Pretty severely. And it was mostly just like not coming home. I very rarely did I have anything like worthwhile going on. It was mostly just either work, calling out of work, or just not coming home at night after I told my wife I'd be home at a certain time.
And
Just coming home the next day.
But you had kids at the time?
Yeah.
And like so. But how many times were there like a lot of times where you would be sat down and be like, if this happens again?
No, like my wife was like, I would just get yelled at, and I was just resigned to getting yelled at, and I was like, all right, I know what's coming, and then she would just be mad for a few days, and then it would subside. Like there really I don't remember like any ultimatums, but like there was a time like, I went to rehab in 2006. Like I didn't start doing coke till I was like, it was 2005, so I think I was like 27, which I think is later. I'd been drinking since like 16, and it's like I never thought I'd do it. And then once I started, I was like, this is all I want to do. And I ended up going to rehab in 2006 after like a pretty bad bender one night. My wife was like 7 months pregnant. So it was pretty like depressing. And my dad like brought me there. My wife brought me there. And at that point, I thought that was going to be the turning point. But within like a month of getting out of rehab, I was like, man, I want beer again. And I'm going to stick to beer. And then every few months I would just like go out on a bender. But like in hindsight, like that was a massive improvement from like going out every weekend to just maybe once a month, once every couple months.
But then I feel like I just can relate a lot to. It wouldn't be that you would binge and then you would get done and be like, I'm never doing that again. But like it was more compartmentalized for myself, where I would go like, I'm not doing that again. That was a different guy.
Yeah.
That was blackout me. So I'm just gonna not do that again. But I don't think I like undid any of the wires. That was the person that would do that stuff.
Yeah. And
so what was the difference between like all the other binges? Was it the big opportunity you feel like you squandered? Was that the biggest turning point?
that was a part of it, but I think the biggest turning point was that I told my kids I was coming home with fucking pizza, and I just didn't show up. And then when I finally made it home the next day, it was right before they were getting home from school. It's probably about like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I let them into the house, and my oldest daughter just looked at me differently. And at that time, like, I was convincing myself that, like, they're not aware of what's going on. So as long as, like, I play with them and shit like that, then it's cool. But, like...
Yeah, this isn't the real start. I can quit later when they'll, like, remember or know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and that was, more than anything else, like, that was the catalyst for, like, getting my shit together. Because, dude, I know, I still would love to get fucked up because I just love the party. I love drinking. I loved Coke. Pills I just did because I had them. Like, I had a prescription, and it was like I had drinking and Coke. I had given that up. So I was like, all right, well, this is prescribed, so I'm just going to do it as much as I can. And ultimately, I ended up, like, I would, like, have this, like, weird thing where, like, I would say, like, all right, I'm only keeping a certain amount of the pills, and I'm selling the rest. Then I'd sell the rest and be like, all right, I want more pills. So then I got to buy more pills. So, like, I'm losing money every month, even though I'm getting all these fucking pills under the prescription.
And it wasn't even a good time.
I didn't really. It was fine, but it wasn't like Coke and booze were my thing.
Yeah, partying's fun, and also, I mean, it's just so I hate being around people that are on like booze and Coke, and I'm just like, but I know how fun it is to be doing that, so I'm just like, man, if I could just be in that universe, it feels like you're in a fully different world.
My God, man.
You're just like, well, I'm in the same room as all these people doing these things right now, but I can't really have a good time like they're having a good time unless I do those substances. So it's almost pointless to be here right now.
Yeah, and
I feel sometimes.
Dude, there were so many times where like if I was going to do Coke, like I would try to seek out somebody who I knew like we would just be somewhere like unbothered. Like my buddy Eric was like my main like running buddy, and we would just go to his apartment and we would just like stand around in his fucking kitchen all night and literally just stand in the fucking kitchen for hours on end, and we would just get like a couple cases of beer, and just stand there and just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
See, the other thing is like I feel like I would do that with a lot of people, like comics and stuff like that, and then I just would never remember what we talked about, and I'm like, we had like a 6-hour conversation, blackout and on coke, and like we talked about how much we hate certain comedians for a long time, and I don't remember a single thing that we bonded over, and now, but then I'll like see that person again, and I'm like, well, I don't have that friendship that I think we formed at the time. But also, we hung out for 6 hours. It would be ridiculous to not act like we didn't do that. But it's hard to strike up a conversation when you're not on the same
like
level.
you said, like it's a different universe, man.
But what after the last one, what the opportunity was kind of squandered a little bit for you?
No, it's like
I guess it wasn't. It was just an interview.
Yeah, it was like it was no real repercussions. Like John and Tommy were super cool, and we ended up like filming the pilot, and it turned out great. And like the show just didn't get picked up, and I just felt very lucky for them to just be like, it's whatever, man, don't sweat it. Shit happens.
But what kept your motivation after that?
I felt good, and also it's like I just felt like I had more of an obligation to my family, and being that like the kids were getting older, and it's like I felt like I put my wife through enough, and I guess like those two factors were more than anything else to just be like, all right, this is fine, and it's. Like right now, it's like there's no doubt that like if I stopped at a bar right now, I would have a great fucking time. I just know where it's going to lead. I just know I'm probably going to disappear for a couple of days. I'm going to come home like with a lot less money, and it's just going to cause a set of problems that like I just don't feel like dealing with right now.
Is there like a way that you're because I have like a different mindset. I guess like I think of the outcome, but I almost like I don't. I think I like giving up control, but I don't like. I actually don't really like being fucked up. I think.
I don't like being fucked up. I like drinking. Like if I could, I love the taste of liquor too. It's like if I could just drink for 12 hours and not get super fucked up, which I think was part of why I gravitated toward Coke, is because it would level you out. And I think I just like the act of doing those things more than I like just being out of fucking control.
I think maybe it's a thing where it's a insecurity thing, but I keep judging people whenever they're like being drunk, and I'm just like, God, this person's like an asshole right now. Why would I want to be that?
Yeah,
this person sucks.
Yeah,
and then or like I feel like you see it a lot with comedy. Just every weekend when I was a server at a comedy club, there would just be some like lady that would get too fucked up, and I'm like, it happens every single time, and it's always like a 55-year-old lady. It's her one time she's drinking for the month, and I'm like, this was a waste of a night. All you did was just spend $100 to not remember anything and fight with a person at a comedy club. Like that seems miserable. And I'm like, rarely do you. I don't know how often people are like, yeah, we got like 10 rounds of shots and then we had the best night ever. I feel like every time it's always like, yeah, I hated it.
And I embarrassed my family, and now I'm a fucking meme.
And now she has the kids.
And it's especially like as you get older, like that sets in. Like when I was like 21, it's like I felt like you could have those kind of nights and just like it would still be fun. And you call your friends, you laugh about all the fucked up shit you did. But like as you get older, and it's like, all right, this is just sad now that I'm doing this. It's like, I have bills to pay.
So it was more of was there like any changes you made in your own life that made you commit?
Yeah, I started going to like AA meetings, and those were super helpful. I went for like a year. I went like every day for a year. And the benefit to that is that like it's not just about not drinking. It's more about like digging into like the root of why you're doing that shit. So
the steps.
Yeah, and it's like there's different ways for people to like give shit up or just like drink in moderation. But like for me, like doing that shit, that was super helpful and definitely what I needed, because like I needed to figure out like why like I kept doing this, even though it's like I kept getting the same results every time. And I boiled it down to like just having low self-esteem, like desperately needing people to like me, and just feeling as though anytime things were going good, throwing a monkey wrench into my own progress.
Because you didn't think you deserved it.
Yeah. And it's like just becoming aware of like those kind of things made me think that like having that realization set in was just like, all right, how can I like reroute this and like what can I do to like build those things up?
And what were some of those things that you did to build them up?
A lot of like self-talk, man.
Yeah, just like affirmation.
Yeah,
type
it's like
shit.
it sounds fucking gay, and it's like
It
and
is
it's
gay,
like,
but it's so good.
yeah, it is. It is good for you, and it's like I would just put on things, and it's like I would feel like the biggest fucking faggot on earth listening to an Australian lady saying, "Oh, I deserve good things in life." It's like, all right, I pray to God nobody can hear this through my headphones, but it's like I got to reinforce that shit in my brain, and it's like you kind of do just have to reprogram yourself.
Truly, the bit I don't know. I was always big on. I would get in front of the mirror and like I would always be like, God,
And jack
fat."
off.
Yeah, and jack off into the sink and then scoop it out and lick it off my fingers.
Are you saying
Um,
affirmations as you're doing
I'm
it?
like, you're so fucking hot. I wish I could fuck you in the ass. So those are my. I know when I was with my ex, I used to look at myself and I used to be like, God, you're so fat. You're so gross. And she would she would be like, you have to talk to yourself good. You have to be like, no, you're handsome.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you think it's a joke, you have to be like, no, you look
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
And so now I do that.
Yeah, you have to.
Even if you say it as a joke, though, it's good for your brain.
I think so too.
It's like so I've been doing a bit before shows. Whenever I'm in the green room, I'm like, can't wait to have the best set on the show tonight, guys. I heard you're all gonna bomb. Did you bring a shovel, Lindsay? Pointing out the lineup and going, ooh, did they bring a shovel? Is my big one that I do a lot. But I think it's a good affirmation because then you don't get the anxiety before.
Uh-huh.
Or if I see like comics sitting like near the stage on my way up, I go, where are you guys' notebooks at? You better fucking take notes.
You're a pro, dude.
Yeah, this is why everybody likes me. So those are my affirmations, but I feel like
I think those are good.
but a lot of times I would get too worked up and in my head beforehand, and I would just like, this is gonna go so bad. The person before you is like doing pretty, but then I think it alleviates the stress that I was having. So now it's the thing that I'm just doing every time, and people will eventually tell me I'm an asshole. But
If it works, go for it,
I
brother.
think it's fun for me.
Yeah. Dude, telling somebody to bring a shovel is nuts.
Yeah,
I like it though. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the last time I was like, oh, this lady's driving all the way from Columbus. Hopefully she doesn't show up without a shovel. That'd be a long haul, folks. Oh yeah. What are besides the video of an Australian lady telling you deserve good things? Any other self affirmations you do?
But journaling was good for a while. I haven't done it as much lately. Like, I definitely should because I feel like when I start cruising and going autopilot, like, all right, I'm good. That's when the wheels tend to come off.
Okay.
But I feel like there's other ways to do that. And more than anything, I'll just like not tell myself that shit's going to go bad. Because, you know, for the longest time throughout my 20s and into my 30s, it was just like, all right. So if I knew I was coming here today, like on the ride here, I'd be like, I'm not going to be funny. I'm not going to be interesting. I'm probably going to get lost. Like, what if I'm late? It's just constant thoughts like that and just reinforcing that shit. So I don't really do that anymore. I just plan my day out with everything. And it's like I have a definitive cutoff. Like, I Irish goodbye constantly. Like, if I feel like, all right, my social battery's running low, I'm out of here. And I'm not going to say shit to anybody. I like doing that kind of shit. And just being like, I think it's more rooted in like just actions which I know are going to benefit me more so than like the time where it was just like verbal affirmations.
Okay. Yeah, making decisions for your actual betterment rather than for validation.
Yeah.
Or thinking having other people think you're going to be cool.
Yeah, like last night, like after we had a conversation, I was like, all right, I'm ready to go, and like within 10 minutes, I was in the car.
I made the same thing after we talked. I was like, I was going to try to hang around for a bit, but I was like, I'm tired and I don't want to meet new people right
Yeah,
now.
it's and yeah, I don't think that's typically like when my bad decisions would come about, where it's just like, yeah, all right, I'll do a little coke, and then it's like, all right, next thing you know, it's like 5 o'clock the next morning. You're just like, oh man.
Yeah, that's being mindful and aware of what decisions you're about to make. If you make one, like what the next step is always. It's just being a smarter adult.
Yeah, I think so too, man.
But what are things that you think? So you felt like you did all this self work to get to where you're at now. What do you feel like you're still struggling with at this point?
I would say the one thing like that I can be critical of is that I have a tendency to think that like I should be further along than I am, and I feel like I really got to fucking kick it in the high gear.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is like from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed, like I'm most of the time doing something productive.
And this can be a healthy appetite. Like it can be a thing where you're like by striving for more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely becoming hateful of yourself.
Yeah, I don't think I'm hateful, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I can be too demanding in some areas. Like I just moved here 3 weeks ago, and it's like I totally underestimated how much like time, effort, money, and thought it would take to get my entire family here and set up.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I was kind of spiraling a little bit last week, and then after me fucking freaking out and just a freak out now, it's just like me fucking yelling about shit. After that, I realized, like, all right, I just got a million things on my plate right now. And within the next few weeks, like, shit's going to start to subside, and I can kind of get more of a routine built back up. So I think
Being out of your routine, being out of whack, definitely stresses me out as
Oh, dude,
well.
it's
I've had that the past month, and it's been. I've noticed that I get like pretty annoyed like that, and I feel like I'm like I've made a lot of self progress, but I rely on my routines to like be the person that I want to be, and so that's what I'm also trying to work on is like just like no matter what's happening to me, being able to find comfort, even if it's like not the exact routine or ideal situation that I want, because that's. I made my routine and situation what I wanted it to be. Now I feel like I should be able to grow next level.
it's incredibly evolved, and I think that is definitely the next step to just like, all right, figuring out a routine which like benefits you the most, and then it's like, all right, what do I do if I don't have my fucking routine? Am I gonna just completely go into a tailspin, or am I gonna just constantly reiterate that like, okay, I got this shit, I can figure it out? There was something that I was talking with my buddy Naeem Ali when we were driving home last night. His dog just died, and it's incredibly fucked up. He was crazy about this dog, and we were just talking about how like you don't realize often like how every little situation that you're in, how every little being around friends and like being in like having like a fun moment, like just how meaningful that shit is until like you get it taken away from you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one thing like I try to be conscious of more now too. It's just like, okay, like doing something like this, something that's fun, and it's like I get to reconnect with you, and it's like, all right, this is going to be a fun aspect of my day, and then tonight I'm going to go to do fun shit with my friends. That's not something that 10 years ago I would have looked at in that positive of a light, where it was just be anxiety ridden. Like, all right, I'm going to be late. It's like, you know, this is not going to go well. People are going to think I'm funny, or people are going to think I'm interesting.
But that's why it's so nice to be at your like try to be your peak self when you're doing things, so that you can have the most fun and be the most present and enjoy them. I always thought that whenever I was hungover, where I'm like, and then I would have to do the next day, and I'm like, this day all sucks because I'm hungover. What if like it was supposed to be like a really cool moment? And then I'm hungover and I can't enjoy that moment that was supposed to be really cool.
Yeah.
So that's another, like, I feel like it's a nice change to make where you're able to, when you're trying your best and trying to be your best, then you can, most of the time you're having the best time.
Yeah, dude, and that's it. That's what I want to do. Like, I feel like I'm 46. I feel like I'm older than most people that I socialize with, and it's like, there's times where I do feel self-conscious of that, like as like time passed me by. But then there's other times where I'm just like, well, no, I'm doing what I want to do. And a lot of people, not that I always want to compare myself to other people, but it's like, yeah, I know most people my age, they're kind of like regretting what they didn't do in life, and I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, but it's pretty sick to be like, I got a house for my family. I can provide, and I get to have fun doing exactly what I want to do every day. I think it makes it pretty easy to go, man, life's pretty good right now.
Dude, and it is, man. It's like, because there were so many days, like, you know, I liked what I did for a living, but at the same time, when you're not paid appropriately for what you do, you start to become resentful of what you do. And I was so far behind the 8 ball constantly, especially living in Philly, which is super expensive, that I became resentful. And like every day my commute to work was just like, I hope I get hit by a fucking bus today. You know? And it was just terrible. And it's like, now I don't feel that.
And so I guess you don't know the good times are the good times till the good times are over, but I guess you get to live in the solace of knowing you're in the good times.
Dude, I think that, man. Yeah.
So that's a pretty good thing. It's a good place to be.
Yeah, and it's here now. It's like if it's not here, a day from now, I had a good run, but I'm just gonna enjoy every good thing that comes, man.
Well, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you, man.
Thank you, brother.
Well, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for
And
having
thank
me.
you for freaking, I don't know, being here in Austin. I'm so happy I get to connect with you again.
Likewise, homie, and thank you for showing off those beautiful golden brown gams.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're welcome to the viewers, too. Man, this is a money shot that I have given for both eps. What do you think of that, Matthew? All right, thank you guys. This has been I Don't Want to Be a Piece of Shit. Make sure you check out Mike Rainey on everything. Plug what you want.
Yeah, you can check me out. All my stuff's on my socials at Mike Rainey 82. And then also you can check out my books at onperks.com. I wrote a bunch of books. I got a new one coming out this week. And, yeah, check them out, baby.
All right, thank you guys so much. Peace.
Heavy